Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading. I'm Jude. This is a reading for the week of the 27th of February. And first of all, we're going to look at what's the energy you've been in, what's been going on for you. Then we'll look at the week of the 27th of Feb and what challenges there might be and what might be coming in around to help you. All right, so let's get going for you, Taurus. What's been happening? What energy have you been in? What's been going on? And we'll see. All right. Okay, Taurus. So we've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Seven of Cups. Right. And remember, this is general, so it may or may not resonate. But what I can see here is it feels like you've just been working on something, and I feel like this has had value for you. But there's a sense here, what I'm feeling with these cards is it's almost become a little bit routine. I'm hearing the word like monotonous. But it's repeating, and it's like you can do this. In fact, you're quite okay with this, and you've worked at it. You're quite diligent about this. But there's an opportunity here to look at the pattern that you're in and working out whether you actually want to continue with this or not. Because the Seven of Cups indicates there's a choice. Seven of choice, I was about to say. My feeling here is something's become a little bit uninspiring for you. And it is something that's got value and meaning. So I think you've gotten kind of into the loop of being there, doing this work, or perhaps for some of you it might be a job. But with this Devil card, the energy here, the gift of this is that you get an opportunity to have a look at the patterns that you've been running and work out whether you want to stay in them or not. Because often when this shows up, it says perhaps this isn't something that's actually really for your highest good, but we keep doing it because we're kind of unaware of it, and so we just keep playing the loop over and over. So sometimes, if it's things like addictions, alcohol or cigarettes or drugs or something like that, or if it's a behavior or a pattern, maybe we stay in the same job even though it doesn't inspire us, and we think, oh yeah, but the money's good, so we stay, but it's not really lighting our soul up. It's that kind of feeling here of making a choice. And, when we get this Seven of Cups, often it's about making a choice out of all the options, but again, looking at what this unconscious driver is that's guiding us, because sometimes we make our choices unconsciously too, which both of these cards are suggesting the same thing. And it's about bringing it into a consciousness where we really have a good look at what this is, and then make a decision that feels more aligned for your soul. But it's going to be personal and different for everyone, of course. But yeah. So it's quite a big thing, it feels, Taurus, that you've been sort of looking at. A big look in the mirror sort of feeling of, is this really what I want to be doing? That's, which is a very big question to ask, isn't it? Okay. So then what does this week of the 27th of February look like for you, Taurus? A lot wants to be said. We've got the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, the Ten of Swords and the Star, the Nine of Wands, the Fool and the Magician. Okay. Yeah. It does feel like a very deep soul kind of introspection almost of where you're at, and kind of this feeling of, I'm not sure it's where you want to continue to be at. It's like part of you is looking at this because the Five of Pentacles suggests, and the Five of Cups together, suggests that this feels like a challenging emotional energy. For some of you, and I say this with huge respect, it's almost like a feeling of grief, and Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands both say that you're a bit wanting to not keep thinking about this. It's like you want an end to this sort of cycle of thinking and feeling this way, because you're up for the challenge. You can do it, Taurus. You know, the Nine of Wands is a card of someone who's very resilient, and it feels in this energy that you can do this. You're victorious. You manage to win the rounds, and in so doing create a resilience within yourself. But there's a tiredness feeling here of do I want to keep doing this? You know, the positive aspects of the Five of Pentacles are that you are moving forward step at a time. There is progress forward, but it feels like a little bit of tough going. And you know, with this Five of Cups as well, there's a feeling here of looking at perhaps what you don't have in your life, what you're missing. Now, all connecting in with that devil energy, it feels like, and I want to put these together over here because it's this sense of recognition, I feel, of bringing something into an awareness, into a consciousness to be looked at, you know, on the table, and a very raw and open look for yourself, you know, of do you want to keep doing this? Because I feel with the Ten of Swords here, it's like part of you is tired of thinking about it. But it feels like there is a pivot point in this week of the 27th of February where, you know, the Star, the Fool and the Magician are major cards. So this is like, what do you really want? You know, what is it that you would love to be doing? How would you really like this to be for you, Taurus? Because the Magician says that you have available to you the resources you need to create the life that you want, or whether this is work or a relationship. It's going to be different for everyone because it's general, but for some of you it almost feels like an overarching life path choice. And, you know, the Star says, well, what would you really love to be doing? What is this? What's deep in your heart? What's your true north? And the Magician is looking at, well, you know, everything's on the table for you. So when we get the Magician, we can consider we need clarity, we need action, and we need intention. And when we harness those three parts, we can then create a way to move forward for ourselves. It feels like a very big week, Taurus. So what's the challenge in this energy, please, for Taurus? What's the challenge in this energy, please? Okay, I just heard that's the challenge. And again, it's another major card, and it's the Death card. So when we get the Death card, this is about how we move forward, what choice we make, and how we deal with change, transformation, transition in our lives. And, you know, the Death card says this change can be happening. It doesn't happen quickly. It's a very slow-moving process, Taurus. A bit like the Five of Pentacles. It's slow-moving, but there is movement. And so it's about making a very aware shift forward. Now, because this is coming in the challenge is going to be beginning this journey of transformation. It's kind of like you see it, you get an opportunity with that Devil card energy to look at the patterns and then know that you need, that there's a choice to be made. But again, it's coming up out of that unconscious kind of energy and into really looking at it from a very conscious perspective. And sometimes when we're unaware of something, we don't know to change it because we're not unaware of it. And often we need a guide when we have something that we're unaware of, or if we're in a pattern or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see if now in the helper cards there's a guide shows up for you. So what will help Taurus, please? What will help Taurus move forward? Oh, the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Swords, the Hangman, and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's your guide. I could fit, and the World cards underneath. I just heard that needs to come onto the table too. All right. Taurus, there's a lot coming in to help you, which is beautiful. The Sun is this beautiful, happy, fabulous energy. And this is, coming in as a helper card. It's like this shines a light for you through this unconscious, what am I going to do? What's this pattern? How am I going to move myself forward? Knowing that you have the capacity to as well, but sometimes it's tricky navigating through those sorts of energies. The Wheel of Fortune says this brings in a whole new cycle for you. It's a very, Wheel of Fortune is a fantastic energy. It's positive and it is a new energy. Two of Swords says there's still a choice to be made. And it's often a choice that's quite challenging to make because there's a blindfold on. And, you're sitting on a concrete bench. This little character's sitting on a concrete seat with a blindfold on. And there's a choice. And it's like you want to protect your heart, which is the arms folded as well. So a tricky choice. But because it's coming in as a helper, it feels like you narrow this down to a single choice. And the Hangman says that, you get to see things from all angles. And Queen of Cups often is a helper person. This is often the energy of, because it's a water sign, a cup, it can be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But it often is, depicting a person who's very calm emotionally, someone that can be a helper. Often it represents, someone in a counselling role or like a life coach or a psychologist, something like that, where you can talk something through. And often when we're dealing with something unconscious, we often need a little guide because we need someone who can go, oh, can you see that? And then we can make a choice once we're aware of it. So my feeling is to bring it up here, as this is going to help with that energy. And I feel with the Two of Swords, as a choice and something to make, it's like just get a little bit more information. I feel there's something about this that feels like you need a little bit more practical, actual data or information, so that you can remove the blindfold and see clearly what this choice is. Because the World card says this is about something, a cycle coming to a completion, and a nice completion, a successful completion, but the end of like a chapter, and it allows you to move forward, Taurus, is what I'm getting. So there's a lot of big cards on the table. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 major cards here. Yeah. The fact that these are coming in to help you with the challenge, which is how do you move forward, says there's a lot of very positive energies and perspectives coming in to show you and help you. And remember, you've got free will, Taurus, so you're going to decide what it is you want to do. You're the person in charge of your life, and you'll make your choices. But the positive aspect is it's good to make your choices from a very conscious point of view, where you see what's driving it and what's underneath. All right, so Taurus, I'm just going to close your reading out with a message from Spirit, please, for Taurus. Yeah, and we've got the World card again. So the very last card that came out was the World, and now you've had it again. It does feel very much, Taurus, like it's the end of a cycle, the end of a chapter. And, the Three of Pentacles is this feeling of creating something new from the ground up that's brand new. And it has unknown potential and possibility, but it's very positive. So it feels like there's an opportunity here from a very conscious point of view to create a whole new cycle for yourself and a new chapter, Taurus, should you choose to. I hope you have a fabulous week. And if you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Bye from me.